So this right here is my very, 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 very beautiful, extremely intelligent, so undescribably thoughtful wife, Shell Ryan.
He needs spectacles, glasses, for those of you who don't know what spectacles are.
So let's rewind because I want to tell you how this whole trip came about. We're going to rewind to October of last year, 2025. Now, mind you, our anniversary is October the 12th. And we were at dinner. And she leaned over to me and what was it you said?
I can't remember my exact words, but whenever Matt had spoken about Maine, he always got a little twinkle in his eye. And he left Maine when he was 11 years old to go and live in Hawaii. But from the way he had described Maine and his memories, I knew that he had a place deep down in his heart, and there was this little longing for him to return. So I sprang it on him. I said, you know what? For your 50th birthday, we are going to make a trip to Maine.
No, that's actually not even how it happened at all.
Call me a liar.
I love you, but she leans over at our anniversary dinner and says, you know, we need to start planning for your 50th birthday.
Yes.
To which I looked at her and says, can we get to my 49th first? She says, yes, but I want to make it something special. I said, well, if you think that you're going to get me in one of those itty bitty little boxes on the middle of an ocean, you must be crazy. And she said, no, I don't want to put you on a cruise, because she knows that I get seasick just hanging out on a floaty in our pool. She says, I want to take you back to Maine. Now, I've got a little issue with my back, and I've already plotted it all out to drive nonstop.
He looked horrified.
28 to 34 hours of just driving. I said, sweetheart, with my back the way it is, are you crazy? She says, no, Ange, I don't want to drive. We're going to fly. I said, Shell, an airline seat in regular economy is more narrow than the seat in our SUV. Are you high?
And I said, no, Ange, we're going to fly first class.
So, to make a long story short, I guess kind of late for that, huh?
Right?
Um,
We booked. We booked to go to Maine.
And we will be flying out of Tennessee on Saturday
The 24th.
at 05:56.
And we should arrive in Maine, in Portland, Maine, at about
13:34.
Thereabouts. Where we
Oh,
will,
I'm sorry. That's 1:34 if you don't speak military time.
and where our little, well, it's not so little, where our rental vehicle will be awaiting us.
And then we're going to take Route 1 from Portland all the way up to our hotel, which it says 3.5 hours. But with the sightseer,
And with the lobster eater,
I am not going to lie to y'all. I plan on eating at least 3 lobster rolls before we get to the hotel.
he's gonna look like a lobster.
And somebody with a beautiful eye for foliage, seeing the New England foliage for the first time ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that is how this whole trip came about. And I think next week, maybe we'll tell them some of the excursions that we plan on doing.
Yes, absolutely.
So, won't you come along for the ride?
But before he finishes off, I just want to end with this little thing. If you were born in a different state and you left the state when you were a child or a teenager or a young adult, and you've been away from your state for many years, I think just to make friends with your youthful self and find out exactly who you are and reground yourself, you have to go back home. And I'm taking my wonderful hubby back home.
So, please, won't you join us on this journey?